Welcome. You're about to listen to a presentation by Ersin and Tuba Şehitoğlu, two of the key members of the emergency housing project Yuva. The presentation of Ersin and Tuba Şehitoğlu took place in the first panel organized by Çare, as part of the panel series Turkey and Syria after the earthquakes. To firstly introduce Ersin Gök is a director of photography based in Istanbul. He's a graduate of 9 Eylül University, where he studied photography. He pursued his studies in photography further and received his MA degree from Marmara University. He's a co-founder of an independent initiative called Young Photography Initiative. Ersin has been working on short films, feature films, documentaries, and commercials. His first feature film, Mustang, was nominated for the Academy Awards. Ersin has been one of the key people and action takers for the Yuva project in Istanbul, an initiative created and performed by numerous independent volunteers from the architecture and film industries in Turkey. The Yuva project built 100 tiny wooden and modular disaster homes in response to the devastating February 6 earthquakes in Turkey, with the help of a group of about 250 to 300 volunteers. The volunteer group started off Yuva the assembly process at TÜYAP Fair and Congress Center in Istanbul and sent the homes to the earthquake region as completed, in coordination with the Ministry of Interior, Disaster and Emergency Management Authority in Turkey. The other speaker joining in from the Yuva project is Tuba Şehitoğlu. Tuba Şehitoğlu is a Turkish architect and designer who currently serves as a guest lecturer in the Department of Interior Architecture and Environmental Design at Medipol University. She earned her bachelor's degree in architecture from Istanbul Technical University and her master's degree in architectural design from the same university. During her master's studies, she gained experience by working in various design offices and received several awards from architectural and urban design project competitions. In 2016, Tuba co-founded the architectural and interior design firm Gigoffice with Zeynep Akten. Through this firm, she has successfully executed design and implementation projects for diverse undertakings such as hotels, restaurants, residential complexes, and retail spaces, both domestically and internationally. Furthermore, Tuba is a founding member of the Yuva project, which aims to create healthy, modular, and wooden semi-temporary structures for the protection of nature and humanity following earthquakes.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My name is Ersin. I'm in the film industry for many years now. I won't be able to talk about containers or apricots because our reality is somewhat different. At the same time, I am interested in sustainability and ecology, and I'm the director of the Yuva project. As you know, on February 6th, an earthquake hit Turkey with an epicenter in Kahramanmaraş. Approximately 9 million people were affected. We have many deaths and 3 million people are displaced now. And since the first morning of the earthquake, together with my friends who had earlier worked in the field of humanitarian aid, we started discussing what we could do in the region, because they were planning to go to the region, and later on they did, and they analyzed the needs, they assessed the needs, and everybody will think about, of course, initially providing shelter, food, and everything else. And they also told us that they need generators, they need other logistics support, and those were the reports by our friends. As I'm in the film industry, we had to obviously stop our work. As you know, we are people who can build cities in desert areas. So we thought that maybe we should just go and help them because we have that capacity. And with the producers from our sector, we decided to go to the earthquake hit region with all the generators, with all the food trucks, with sound engineers, with all the other equipment. We went to the earthquake hit region, and with the reflex of the filmmakers, we try to help the people in terms of logistics, lighting, because we needed professionals. And of course, non-professionals also helped. And we also set up another camping area for the physicians, and we mobilized some physicians. But of course, these were only the first few hours after the earthquake, and we were thinking about how we could just provide better shelter for these people, because tents will not work. It was obvious after a while, and everybody started thinking about the most rapid solution. So initially, we tried to send tents to the region, but also, meanwhile, we realized that Istanbul is a metropolitan area and there are many filmmakers, and as the industry had stopped, we had amazing manpower, human power. So we wondered if we could use this labor force to build cities in the region. And we thought that maybe we should not try to send everybody to the region and we should start working here. So we started thinking about whether we could just produce some, I don't know, wood or other types of structure which would be produced here and then sent over to the region. And meanwhile, here you can see, by the way, the photographs. We heard about this 100 tiny house project that started. And I thought to myself, if there is an already ongoing project, maybe we could just go and join forces and help them. So I made an open call over the Instagram using my social media, and some famous people, including movie stars, actors, actresses, and other people, many volunteers joined forces, and we really helped the project to be completed. As it was mentioned by Ersin and my other friends, I mean, unfortunately, the materials that were sent, they were not sustainable. The tents, containers, I mean, these would not be fit for the near future, for the health and well-being of the people there. And I told you that I am really interested in ecology. So I started thinking about why we don't use natural materials, which are easily accessible, and these might easily be shaped and formed by the people there. So we started thinking about these matters. And initially, we started discussing this over the internet with Tuba, and we started an research which would be the material that we would be able to use. And of course, these need to be the types of houses that could later on be moved. So that was the idea. And we wanted natural materials because we were aware of the fact that with the containers, I mean, we won't be able to come up with an exit plan. As you know, I mean, even the largest harbor in Turkey can only have 40,000 containers. And what will happen to these containers once they're used up? We know from past experience that these were later on just put in the middle of natural spaces and created natural hazards. So we decided to opt for natural materials, and we decided to name the project Yuva. It cannot be exactly translated as home, but it's basically somewhere that you belong to. It represents both the structure and your hometown and your family. So this prototype was developed, and you can see the team. And of course, in time, we started using other materials as well. And once the initial drawings were completed, we were able to complete the first prototype in March, and we were looking for funding, by the way, because initially we decided to produce the prototype using our own funds. Later on, we tried to get in touch with some donors. And initially, we thought that we would produce these in Istanbul, but in time, we thought that it would be better for us to continue producing these type of homes in the region, so that this would also be a psychosocial and economic support to the people living in the earthquake region. And we completed the project in the earthquake region. Here you can see we have 3 architects on our team, but the other people are either directors, photographers, and everybody, I mean, all of the people here are volunteer engineers in a way, but we had great support from some important institutions, and in the end, we were able to build the prototype. This is the first house that we built. And for the rest of the presentation, I would like to give the floor to Tuba, because she is the architect and designer, and later on I can take the floor. Thank you.
Begin in the beginning of March, and now in the mid of July, we have many UAs in the region actually. This one is the first one that we constructed in Hatay. And if you just say what is UA is emerged with the idea of protecting people, preserving nature, and while doing this design, we also try to focus on ecological and sustainable design. And here in the GIF, we want to show you this modularity, how these units getting connected with the small pieces. It's a standard UA. We have different types of UA. I'm going to show you in the coming sheets also. But that one is the standard one that we first designed, and it's totally modular, mountable, and it could easily assemble on site. And as a insulation, we use cellulose fiber insulation, which is also totally natural. And we made this design according to passive climate principles as a temporary and half temporary shelter unit. Here in the images, we want to summarize what are we talking about when we say ecological and circular design. The first thing is the material that we use wooden with the cladding of facade, the floor, the roof, and also inner cladding of our walls, and also the structural system. And also the second thing is we use, as I mentioned, the passive climatization, which you can see here. We have a passive ventilation system, which we have a linear duct, the linear gaps on the walls and also on the floor, that we have a chance to the air ventilation all the day in the inside of UA units. And also, while we are orienting UAs, we are totally looking for the sun, the prevailing wind, and we make this orientation according to these parameters for the passive climatization. And the most important thing, I think, as a design of the UA is the rainwater harvesting system, the gray water, and the organic waste management composting. In the area, since the beginning of the earth, since the earthquake happened, our team has been there, and we already know that, especially in Hatay, there's a big problem for the lack of water. Not, I mean, now after the earthquake, also before the earthquake, for years. So we want to show the people how important the collecting rainwater and how important to using gray water system for the world resources. And the last thing is the for the raised floor, we use screen foundation, which we do not need to use any fixed reinforced concrete for the raised floors. And it means, of course, low carbon footprint, and it's very easy to install at the site. Sorry. Yes. Why did the Yuva emerge? I think it's so obvious when we just look at that picture with this container cities. It's totally not a solution with the local climate conditions. Now we have summer, and we know that these earthquake areas, the disaster cities, has very big problems while living in the tents and living these containers, because the heat, the temperature is impossible for you to live in, especially for the children. And also the containers and these type of other shelter solutions can be so harmful, both human and both human health, for the moisture and mold. And also, when you look on the right side, as Ersin mentioned, we discussed the transportation, because for one container, you need a whole track, which means that there are lots of energy loss for the transportation. So this solution has to be a structure that can be easily transported and assembled in the rural areas, because our first aim is, while designing Yuva, to reach the people who do not want to leave their land, especially in the villages, not just in the cities. We know lots of people waiting for their land, because they are also has their agricultural, they have their trees, they have other productions, so they do not want to leave their land. There's an also demand for employment and social spaces within the local community. So just to sum up, Yuva provides a sustainable, climate-friendly, and easily transportable structure. Sorry, takılıyor galiba. Şöyle tutacağım. Bir sonraki slide'a gelebilirsin. Yes, now I'm leaving the word to Ersin again, because he will mention our...
Kendisi atölyemizden bahsedecek. Şu anda bu atölyede Antakya'da Samandağ'da üretim devam ediyor. Thank you very much, Tuba. This was a great summary. You see our atelier, our workshop in Istanbul. Rather than manufacturing in Istanbul, we wanted to manufacture on the ground in the region. That was our decision. And then we talked to the local people, because we always believe in the locality of solutions. But obviously we needed some time to find the right people, but we did exactly that. We rented a carpentry workshop. Currently we have 30 employees, and this workshop spans over 300 square meters. It is within an orange orchard, and you see mainly women working there. Many of our workers had never a carpentry experience prior to this incident, so we try to endow them with these skills as well. There's a shortage of people, and many also carpenters died, so we believed in the importance of this, and we wanted to find the right people and transfer this know-how to them. And we thought that it was a great idea to involve them in production. Maybe these people will manufacture these houses for others, maybe for themselves, once they have this knowledge and this set of skills. And this was one of the most important features of Yuva project for us. Also, these houses, this project is now being supported by Shelter Cluster of UN, which is an alternative method, an alternative to containers. And we liaise with other NGOs, with government authorities as well, because people have realized that containers are not a viable solution, be it in the short term or in the long term. People have come to understand this. That is why we try to develop Yuva project even further and spread it across the world. And you see our employees, our workers, and you see the insulation material. It's all made of recycled papers, and it has a high insulation capacity. And there's a huge difference, at least 14 degrees of difference between containers and our houses. And you no longer need AC. There's an electricity shortage in the region anyway, so this is quite a good modification, we believe. And maybe you are aware of this celebrity called Karsu, a Turkish Dutch singer, and her family. Unfortunately, she lost many family members in Hatay, so she found substantial sums, and she came to the region. And then we met her, and we got in touch with her, and she wanted to come and see us working. So you see her in a module. We are explaining the project to her, and she also wanted to come and work with us, have some hands-on experience. So this was good in terms of visibility, and we are hoping to start a crowdfunding campaign in the near future to shore up more funds. Now, in the previous slide, you saw a module, and now Tuba is going to tell us about what we can actually do with Yuvas, with these houses, and how we can put them to use. Now, over to you, Tuba. Thank you.
Thank you, Ersin. As I mentioned in the beginning, we have standard models of Yuva, which could be changed according to the standard models. When you're adding extra models, it could be get larger or longer. And also we have different types of Yuva that we get them connected with U-shape, T-shape, H-shape. And also we designed these Yuva models according to the individuals with disabilities. And also we use Yuvas for training areas, for educational classrooms, for kitchens, for sanitary areas that includes we see shower and laundries. And also this U-shape Yuvas for the psychological support units, and also workshop areas for the women support centers. Now I'm going to also show you this design is for Amazon Turkey. Now we are collaborating with them with 3 Yuvas, U-shape Yuva, and it's a child-friendly psychological support and activity area, and it's totally purpose for the children to adopt their daily life and to integrate their daily life within strength, resilience. And this one also is larger. I may say that it looks like a campus, or maybe it could be a village. We are working also with that center and with another collaboration, and still looking for the collaborations. And it's a support center for women in life. Here you'll see in the plan on the left side, we have the workshop areas, and we have open terraces. As Ersin mentioned, we are very focusing on women, these women to get back into their daily life by the production, by employment. And that's why there is a shops there which they can sell their own products. And on the right side, we have a training center and also childcare center, because when you mention women, you need to create an area for their children, which they can leave their children safely in those areas. So these centers is aiming for the women to come together and develop their skills. Here is some examples, render examples. For this design, we already work. And this is the current executions. This Yuva is for the Spastic Children Foundation of Turkey. Thanks to God that we completed. And now they started to visitors as their children. And this one is an individual demand for a family. And it's also finished, and now the family lives there. And we could not have the photos, but our current project is also, we are working for Ministry of Family and Social Services, this SOBE Foundation, and collective coordination. Collective coordination is an education center for children, Down Turkey and Amazon Turkey. Yes, it's our beloved artist Karsu. When she visited our team in the atelier, you see that picture. Before we finish the presentation, I'm going to also leave the word again to Ersin for our exit plan.
Hepinize çok teşekkürler. Çıkış planı
Yes,
olarak
thank you everyone. Our exit plan is to be prepared for the next disaster and to make sure that the houses that we offer then are actually much better insulated and much easier to transport compared to containers. And that's why we are engaged in all of these efforts. Of course, we want to also focus on childcare and bathing units and kitchens and laundry units as well. And our exit plan is to demount these yuvas, these houses, once they're no longer needed, so that they can be put to other uses. Containers cannot be offered to any other place. So that this is also another way we differ from containers. Thank you.